Who wants to lead off with questions? Again, Josie's got the microphone. We'll go ahead and start with Tyler here in the front row to the right.
Coach Reggie called the Missouri game a must-win game. You guys got it. I know you guys like to take games, one at a time, but given the way you guys did start in conference play, do you feel like pretty much every game is a must-win at this point?
Every game was a must-win when we started the conference. Yeah, I mean every game you play in the SEC is a game that you want to win. I don't know when was the last time anybody ran the table in this conference, but it's a great conference. But every game you have to have that feeling that you're putting all your energy, all the preparation. Failing preparers, preparing to fail. I mean you got to be very very intense and focused. 'Cause everybody's so good, and you can see it. Everybody's knocking off people. I mean it's a league with a lot of parity.
Go ahead, Paul.
Obviously, you face a great talent in Anthony Edwards. Just what's kind of the plan of guarding him defensively, and of course they got other players that can fill it up too. But how do you go about making sure he doesn't go off?
We've got to do a great job with our team defense. I mean, we've got to be helping and swarming, and like we did the other night. And anytime you face a great talent like him, you've got to rely on your team defense. Obviously there'll be certain players that are matched up with him the most, but at the end of the day, your team's got to help and rally around that person guarding him and give him as much help and support as possible.
Any idea who that may be?
It'll be multiple guys.
We'll go ahead to Brian in the middle, and then we'll get it down to Garrick in the front.
Sort of on that same line of thought there, when you play against a guy like Edwards, who everybody's talking about, how do you keep from the other guys beating you? How do you keep everybody saying, look, don't focus too much on him because there are 4 other players on the court?
They actually played 10, 11 guys, and they've got some very good talent around him. Hammonds is a really good player. Hammonds is he takes the second most shots on the team. He's shooting the ball really well from three. He's very good at finishing around the rim, putting the ball on the floor, good offensive rebounder. But they have a lot of guys. I mean, we with Crump, Crump's had some, great shooting performances against us in the past during his career there at Georgia. They play 9 freshmen, and a number of these kids are very good. Kamara, who's the other starting big, number 10, is a very good player and really has he's only made 3 threes, but I'll tell you what, his shot looks really good. He's really going to be good. He's an outstanding player. The little point guard that they're starting, Wheeler, he's a good player. I mean, he does a good job of creating for others. He can also, get to the rim. He knocked down a big shot against Memphis to really give them the 4-point lead that they needed to close out that game. So they have a lot of talent, a lot of guys that can shoot it. A lot of guys that drive at the rim. They're really good in transition. Georgia really do a great job of pushing the ball on makes and miss shots. You see everybody push it on misses, but they push it equally hard on made shots. So they do a great job getting up and down the floor and getting some early looks before the defense gets set. They have a new player, Gresham, who's a graduate transfer. That's a career 41% shooter from 3, who's playing real for him and gives him a lot of, experience in the backcourt. And, he's a good player and is really added to that team. And so they got Jordan Harris is a senior and great athlete. I mean, he's as athletic as anybody in our league.
Is the plan to keep DJ in the starting lineup and use Tyson off the bench again, or is that just going to depend on the game?
We plan to start the way we started in the last game here on Saturday, tomorrow.
Go ahead and get it to Logan here in the front.
Kind of keeping with DJ, just kind of went into the decision to redshirt him last year, and how much improvement have you seen him make in year 1 to year 2?
I didn't think going into last year that he was going to play the kind of minutes that made sense. We had 5 perimeter players, and I kind of rolled the dice and no one get hurt. And when Nick was suspended, late in the year, I kind of questioned that decision. But it so happened at that time that he had come down with a stress reaction. It wasn't even a stress fracture, stress reaction in his foot. So I don't know if you guys remember, but at one point he was out for like a month dealing with that. And what had happened is he has the flattest feet of any person you've ever seen. It's unbelievable. You should have him show you. It's incredible. So he has to wear orthotics. And somehow we were coming back Christmas break, and his shoes got thrown away, unbeknownst to him, with the orthotics, and he never said anything. He never said anything to the trainer, and all of a sudden he had this issue with his foot. So he's learned, and I think in the long run it worked out best for him to redshirt last year because he had a year of learning here and being a part of all the practices, and was able to travel on the road as a redshirt because he was still eligible to come off at any moment. And so I thought he learned a lot and really gained a lot, and he's obviously going to be a terrific player for us moving forward.
Any other questions for Coach before we let him go? We'll go ahead and get it back to Tyler here, front right.
Obviously, last year, losing some of the best leaders on the team in Q, Lamar, even Eric Holman. How have you seen the leadership kind of foster with this team? Who are some of the guys that, whether it's practices or games, step up and, when there are adverse situations, kind of take over in those moments?
Yeah, I think that Tyson, as our senior, has done a good job there and been a very positive force. I think that Robert Woodard, who's just a born leader, if he was doing anything, whatever he did in life, he's got, great leadership qualities. Reggie's done a good job. So, we have a number of guys. Abdul, is one of the older guys. He's been a very positive leader for this team. So we have a number of guys that we rely on there.
All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.